Sleep is the most important thing that we have in our arsenal for recovery, and it affects our decision making center of the brain. So whether you're deciding whether you're going to have a cookie or you're going to be mindful and intrinsic about the foods that you're eating when you're on a diet, or just trying to improve your overall health and wellness, your decision making skills are screwed up because you didn't get enough sleep.
Welcome to Consistency Breeds Growth Radio. I am your host, Justyna and I. Our incredible guest and myself talk about the cutting-edge science and consistency necessary to reach your weight loss, wellness, and performance goals. If you have nutrition goals, we have customized nutrition programs and coaches that tell you how much, when, and what to eat for every single meal. And the best part? You don't need to calculate macros in an app. Ditch the calculators. Want to learn more about our intrinsic diet? Let one of our coaches know you listen to this podcast to get 10% off. Do you own a gym or attend a gym that wants to make some money and throw a top-notch nutrition challenge with a team of certified nutrition coaches? Our team will guide your members through a nutrition challenge customized for your gym. And you'll make money for each member who signs up. If you want more information about working with us one-on-one or in a gym setting, head over to consistencybreedsgrowth.com or email us at consistencybreedsgrowth@gmail.com. We will also put links in the show notes. Enjoy the podcast.
Okay, it's your host, Justyna and I, back with another episode of CBG Radio. We're here to talk about health, fitness, and everything else related. And we have our co-host on, Justyna. What's going on?
Not much. Trying to push through the holiday stresses, and that's about it.
Yep. As we record this, it is, what's the date today? It is
9th.
December 9th.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. All right, so we still have some time before Christmas. This episode will probably come out right after the new year. And today we're going to be talking about how to lose fat, body fat, right now. Like, what can you do right now to lose body fat? This is what everyone wants to know. How do you lose body fat right now? All right. So if we gave you guys some simple tips, tricks, and a little bit of science behind how to lose body fat right now, you can start this. It's 2021, new year, new you. You shit the bed in.
Everyone shit the bed in 2020.
Everyone shit the bed. Now we're counting on you. All right. All right, Justyna, what's our first fat loss tip right now?
Yeah. So the first one, essentially, I think a lot of us nutrition experts are not always here to drink more water. And this essentially is super true, and science has backed it. Research has backed it. So essentially, we need to drink more water, not only because it's satiating, but fun fact, you guys, having more water in our bloodstream aids in the absorption of all necessary macronutrients in order for us to, 1, build muscle, 2, burn fat when we build muscle, and 3, just simply have an overall healthy gut and healthy body. So it's a satiating mechanism, and it helps us absorb fun nutrients.
Hell yeah. It also helps us absorb a lot of micronutrients too.
Absolutely.
Right? So macronutrients and micronutrients that support energy levels, that support our immune system to keep us from getting sick, which affects our intensity level in the gym or just being able to work out in general.
Right.
So all these things are important. And then, as you drink more water, you're improving metabolic rate. We know your metabolic rate is something that affects your overall metabolism, how you burn calories. Right. And we know when it comes to fat loss, it's calories in versus calories out at the end of the day. And that's how you lose body fat. So drinking more water in general I've personally never took it serious. I'm like, I'm working out, I'm working my ass off. Yeah. I'm in the gym, whatever. And Then quarantine hit. I'm like, you know what? I got to make some lifestyle changes.
Exactly.
And I started drinking a lot of water, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just felt like I had so much more energy. Like I felt just like, I just feel so much better. Like, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. I just feel so much better.
I 100% agree with you. And for me specifically, like in the summer, I think most of us tend to drink more water in the summer when it's warmer out because we're sweating more and just losing more water. But in the winter, when it's colder out, I really struggle personally with getting the correct amount of water in order to aid in my exercise as well as just support my energy levels. Because I know I can speak for a lot of people. I get the winter blues and I don't drink enough water. All I do is drink a lot of coffee to try and stay energetic. So I definitely know I'm like myself as well. I got to drink more water too. So it's definitely real.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely real. It makes me feel super energetic, really good. So how much water should we be drinking a day? Okay, so this is an important question because some people say, "Oh, just feel till you're satisfied and blah blah blah."
Mm-hmm.
But some people have to drink more water at different periods of the day. But we also want to avoid drinking lots of water like right before bed. Because then you're messing up your sleep cycle, which is another one of our fat loss tips, which we'll get into later. But overall, throughout the day, you should try to target about half your body weight in ounces of water, and then add an extra 10 ounces for every cup of coffee, and add an extra 10 ounces for every workout that you do. So, for example, if you weigh 100 pounds, okay, just for simplicity purposes, if you weigh 100 pounds, you should drink about 50 ounces of water per day, okay, and add another 10 ounces for that cup of coffee that you're drinking. Or if you drink 2 cups of coffee, you're adding 20 ounces. So that puts you at 70 ounces, and then another 10 ounces for your workout. So that's 80 ounces of water a day if you're 100 pounds, right? And that's not an insignificant amount of water. If you're not tracking it some way, you will not drink that much, straight up. Like, you will just not drink 80 ounces of water. So be more mindful of this. That's our body fat loss tip number 1 for 2021.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. The second one is walking 10K steps a day. Justyna, tell people why they should be walking more.
So, everyone, regardless of how active you are without walking 10,000 steps a day, you need to walk 10,000 steps a day because, especially if you're at a caloric deficit, this will definitely aid in fat loss. Now, I know this can kind of be a bit of a struggle currently because of quarantine and us not being able to get out and about, but really, even if you use your phone, if you're not sure of how many steps you get a day, I definitely recommend tracking it on that somewhat inaccurate phone of yours. At least you have some sort of an estimate of how much you walk, but it's really going to aid in fat loss, especially if we are at a caloric deficit.
Absolutely. And walking 10K steps is going to help put you at that caloric deficit, right? So 10K steps seems to be like the magic number. For you short ladies out there with the short legs, might be a little bit less. And for our big fellas out there, it might be a little bit longer. But let's just keep it simple here. Most of us are not walking close to 10K steps if we're not tracking it, if we're sedentary at work or working from home. So it's important to get out and just every hour, get up from your computer and just go walk a little bit. Go think about something. Bring your bottle of water with you so that you can get in your daily water intake. This is going to help put you at that caloric deficit. And shit, it's way easier than doing a CrossFit workout. I mean,
oh my God, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, if you can go walk around with a coworker, like get a coworker that also is looking for, to target weight loss or just improve their overall health, longevity. Walking is what humans were put on this earth to do,
right,
in regards to movement, right? So you should be walking, and we have all the capabilities to walk this much per day. Now, if you're walking like no steps a day, I wouldn't recommend going right to 10K. Build up 1K every week until you get to 10K. And then there you go. You're walking so much more than you were before. You're drinking so much water than you were before. And the weight will come off just from these 2 simple tips.
Right.
Okay.
So imagine if we combine everything together, how great it would be.
Exactly, right. So that brings us to tip number 3 for fat loss, which is liquid calories.
Yes.
Eliminating liquid calories, eliminating alcohol. I wanted to put that separate from liquid calories. And also eliminating processed foods, anything in a box or a bag. All right, Justyna, why do we want to eliminate liquid calories?
So I don't know. I may be a little biased on this because I pretty much find it very simple, solely because I never had a habit growing up drinking liquid calories like soda. But the reason why we want to eliminate liquid calories, alcohol as well, which I'll get into more about, and processed foods is because these all have one form of another of what's known as empty calories. So we call empty calories because they are tons and tons of calories that have no actual benefit to our body. So for example, the artificial sugars that are found in soda, as well as some alcoholic beverages, they are the ones that allow us to increase our weight unwillingly. Now, for alcohol separately, not only do some have empty calories, but also I know a lot of people maybe who were in college have noticed this whenever they went out drinking, but drinking alcohol leads to also having like those drunk munchies at the end of the night, which also tends to make us eat unhealthy and more greasy foods and fatty foods that are more artificial than others, which can also aid in weight gain as well. Same thing that goes for processed foods as well.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the liquid calories in and of themselves, like Coke, for example, has a lot of calories, like 60 grams of sugar, which is like a cup and a half of rice. So there's a huge difference there in terms of volume in the stomach and you feeling satiated. When it comes to alcohol, alcohol in general affects a lot of metabolic processes that hinder weight loss and recovery if you are a performance athlete, right? And then they also have these hidden calories in them. So if you're not drinking like straight wine or beer or vodka and you're drinking like mixed drinks, for example, I mean, these drinks are made with the liquid calories like Coke and Sprite and Dr. Pepper and some of these other things that, you know, inherently have high sugar and therefore high amount of calories in them. And alcohol in general increases a variety of hormones like ghrelin, which is our hunger hormone, that just makes us want to eat everything. This is why you're like wanting to, you know, roll into a fast food joint right after you drink a bunch of alcohol or you order something to your house now that we're in quarantine, right? So you want to avoid drinking lots and lots of alcohol.
What I will say about that, sorry, I'm going to cut you off really quick, but what I will say about that as well, I personally believe alcohol will also aid in weight gain as well because it also dehydrates us. So let's say you're drinking all of this water from our first tip of this podcast. However, on the weekends, you're drinking, I don't know, like 3 vodka drinks in one night. It's counterintuitive to you drinking all of that water to aid in fat loss.
Right. Yeah, those two things definitely don't go hand in hand, right? So it's definitely something to be mindful of. And then processed foods, obviously, processed foods inherently just have more calories in them. That's just the way that, you know, all of it's marketed.
Right.
You know, that's what the big box companies like Coca-Cola and all these Nestle and all these other companies are out there doing. They're literally sitting in meetings with high-level executives trying to figure out a way to market to the poor and market to the people that are already addicted to the stuff that they're putting on the shelves.
Yeah.
It sucks, and you're in control of it at the end of the day. So if this is fairly difficult, which I would say it is fairly difficult to not drink any soda, right? There are other alternatives like diet drinks in moderation are fine. Seltzer, which also has good flavor, and other Coke Zero. I mean, there are other sodas and diet sodas. Teas inherently have less calories in them than a lot of soft drinks. So you may want to switch over to something like that, but, you know, don't be too stressful on yourself. Maybe you just ideally just eliminate 2 out of these 3. So liquid calories in the form of soda and other sweet drinks. Eliminate alcohol, number 2. And number 3, eliminate processed foods. Just eliminate 2 out of 3 of these starting in 2021.
Also, this is going to get maybe a little bit too in-depth, but specifically for processed foods, a lot of research has come out recently that these processed foods, not all, but some, also have the big hormone BPA, so bisphenol A. And I actually talked about it in the first podcast that I did with you, Justin.
Yep.
But research has shown that the more BPA that we pretty much unwillingly ingest into our system, our fat tissue holds on to it. So it also aids in fat growth, and we don't necessarily want that, especially in our visceral area if we're just thinking about health. So another factor as to why processed foods may increase fat gain is because of that BPA and all other hormones found in there as well.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of them are hormone disruptors, and they're fat soluble, so they stick in the fat cells around our liver or in other organs, which is visceral fat. So this is fat that is extremely harmful to the internal components of our body, as opposed to subcutaneous fat, which is the fat that, you know, you may view when you look in the mirror and, you know, want to improve your weight loss in general, right? So that, yeah, Justyna, that's a really good point. Tip number 4, Justyna, take this one away.
All right, guys, we got to eat more protein. Simple as that. Why do we have to eat more protein? It is the most satiating macronutrient that we have. So not only are we going to feel full from eating a certain amount of protein, but it has what's known as a higher thermic effect of food than carbs and fat. So we're able to kind of burn calories just by consuming protein.
Yeah, exactly. Protein in general is literally what our muscles are made up of, right? These are the amino acid building blocks that build up proteins. And if you're looking to preserve muscle mass or even put on muscle mass in 2021, you're going to need to make sure that you're eating enough protein. In addition to that, protein has in our muscles, right? Let's call them synonymous for the sake of simplicity, right? Had the highest metabolic efficiency. So when your muscles are working and your body is working, you know, with this high metabolic efficiency, you are burning a lot of calories. This is why people with muscle mass tend to lose body fat quicker.
Right.
Right? Protein just has a higher metabolic efficiency. So if you're looking to build muscle, that's one of the best things to do for fat loss, is to make sure you're doing strength training and eating enough protein.
Yep. That's my issue right now with trying to gain muscle mass and gain weight. I'm definitely not eating enough of protein, that's for sure.
It's super challenging and
so hard.
Yeah, it's really hard, especially the amount, you know. So for most people, I would say a good target is around 0.7 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. So for example, if someone weighed 100 pounds, you try to target between 70 and 100 grams of protein. You know, throughout the course of a day, let's say you took a 4-ounce piece of chicken. That's about 25 grams of protein. You would have to eat 4 4-ounce pieces of chicken throughout the day.
Exactly.
Let's say you sub one of those for a protein shake. So 1 scoop of protein is approximately 25 grams of protein. You would go 1 protein shake, 25 grams, and 3 4-ounce chicken breasts, right? So it's not a small amount of actual food. Of course, you can get protein from other sources such as nuts and seeds, and things like, and other sources of meat like fish, steak, ground turkey, beef. So all of these are other options for you as well, but you're going to want to target around 0.7 to 1 gram per pound of protein per day. That's a pretty reasonable target. So for the 4 ounces, that's like basically a palm, about the size of your palm. So basically a protein shake plus 3 sizes of your palm will get you 100 grams of protein. So if you weigh 150 or 180, you're going to be looking at maybe 5 or 6 palmfuls of whatever protein source that you want, and then a protein shake. So, yep, get on that protein.
Oh, yes.
Got to have it. Number 5, and this is our last tip, I believe, for fat loss starting in 2021, is Dun, 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 dun.
Who
Sleep.
wants to go?
Sleep.
Yeah.
Sleep. We got to sleep. A lot of people are looking at low-hanging fruit out there. They're like, what about beta-alanine? What about fucking acupuncture? I'm like, look, if you're a high-level athlete, then we can talk about creatine. If you're trying to put on muscle mass and you're doing your diet right, you're sleeping right, you're not drinking alcohol, these other things, then we can talk about BCAAs, right? Or supplementing with collagen and all this other crap that's out there, right? We can find you good sources of these supplements. We have supplement experts here at CBG, right? So that's fine. But if you're missing out on sleep and a lot of these other factors, don't come and talk to me about the 1% stuff because it just doesn't make any sense, Sleep is the most important thing that we have in our arsenal for recovery. And it affects our decision-making center of the brain. So whether you're deciding whether you're going to have a cookie or you're going to be mindful and intrinsic about the foods that you're eating when you're on a diet or just trying to improve your overall health and wellness, your decision-making skills are screwed up because you didn't get enough sleep, And it affects a lot of other stuff too,
Yeah. I mean, for me personally, it affects every single aspect of my life, honestly. It affects my eating habits, like you said, decision making, but also I don't feel as hungry when I don't get enough sleep. So for people who maybe are trying to do body recomp, like by losing fat and then gaining muscle afterward, it's a really big factor of what you need to focus on. You need to focus on that sleep in order to burn that fat, but also gain that muscle after. You need all of it.
Yeah, you need a control for all of that, and you need to make sure that you're getting in bed by a reasonable hour. Several studies have shown this, right? So more calories are consumed with less sleep typically. So it doesn't mean that you feel hungrier. You're just probably making, like Justyna, you said you don't typically feel hungrier, but you're making maybe poorer decisions to get those calories in, and you end up taking in calories that are just those processed foods and liquid calories and stuff like that just to get by, because
exactly,
like you said, it does affect everything. Shit, it affects like my work, my relationships.
Yeah.
Like if I don't get enough sleep, like
you should see me when I'm cranky to Anthony.
No, we'll just keep you on the other side of the mic, for lack of sleep. But it really does though. Like you're 100% right. It affects every facet of your life, and it's going to improve energy levels. It's going to help you, your physical activity levels. If your energy levels are improved, which we know helps with losing body fat.
Right.
So
a good way. Sorry again.
Yeah,
a good way to kind of make it more of a habit to get good sleep every single day. Justin, you said this, I think, on one of the podcasts that we've done together, but also in our Facebook group. A great way to improve your sleep quality is to make going to bed at the same time every day and waking up at the same time every day a habit.
Yeah. Yeah, this makes your circadian rhythm the same, which is also very good for overall health, wellness, and recovery. You want to try to fall asleep and wake up at the same time every day. So getting 8 hours of sleep is very important, but also trying to go to bed at 9 and then waking up at a specific time to get that 8 hours of sleep is also really important. So you're going to want to figure out a way, even on the weekends, to do this. I mean, this is what it takes to, get to some of those body fat loss goals that you want. If you're not trying to be perfect with your macros, you don't need to, but you got to figure out ways to sleep better, eat more protein, eliminate liquid calories, including alcohol, eliminate processed foods, try walking 8 to 10K steps a day and track this. And then also drinking plenty of water, half your body weight in ounces with an extra 10 ounces for coffee, 10 ounces for your workout, and also tracking this. Extremely, extremely important. These are your body fat loss tips from CBG.
Oh, yeah.
Lastly, CBG has started a gym program, and we're looking to team up with gyms to be your remote nutrition coach. So if you are a coach at a gym or an athlete at a gym and you think you might want to work with us, we have a lot of incentives for gyms, including discounts and marketing, to work with the athletes at your gym. Maybe the athletes at your gym are struggling with weight loss. Maybe they're struggling with performance. And the programming at your gym has gotten them results for a really long time, but they also need to start focusing on the nutrition to get where they want to be. We're happy to help team up with you. You as gym owners are not going to spend a dime, and we will run a nutrition challenge at your gym, work with, specific individuals at your gym that want to work with us, and be a lot of fun. So we're looking to team up with gyms in 2021. Please let us know if you're interested. If you want to contact us, you can reach out at consistencybreedsgrowth@gmail.com or find us on Instagram at cbg_online_sports. And Justyna, that's all I got.
Sweet. Thank you again.
You got it. See you on the next one.
See ya.
Bye, guys.
It's science.
Thank you for listening to the podcast today. We hope you enjoyed it. Keep tuning in every week for more incredible guests and ways to reach your max potential, both physically and mentally. Please subscribe on iTunes or your preferred podcast app and let us know if you liked this episode. Don't forget to check us out at consistencybreedsgrowth.com or on Instagram at cbg_online_sports for details on upcoming nutrition challenges or one-on-one coaching for weight loss, wellness, or performance. Also, feel free to join our free Facebook page at www.facebook.com/groups/CBG Nutrition Tribe.